Today I read a post on one of the mixing and mastering groups. It's a long post, and I'll spare you the entirety of the rant. Most of it can be summed up in the first two paragraphs. Here it is.
After 25 years of having shitty home studios and equipment, I finally have a great home studio, properly treated, great reference monitors, and for the first time in my life, I can hear music as it was intended to sound. My Yamaha HS7 speakers and subwoofer are perfectly tuned, and I have an almost flat frequency response. Too bad I will be too old to do much of anything in the not-so-distant future, but at least I finally made it to the promised land, LOL. But as great as this situation is, it brought along two unexpected side effects that I never saw coming. The first is that now that I've heard music the way that it is supposed to sound, it sounds shitty whenever I listen to it on most other sound systems, LOL. I identify every single problem with the acoustics, speakers, etc. It's kind of annoying. The second side effect is that now that I know what constitutes an excellent mix and can identify it by ear, the vast majority of other mixes sound like shit.
I'm not sure in what world HS7s offer a flat frequency response, but I didn't even bother to address that fallacy. I felt there were bigger fish to fry. He goes on to say,
People have shitty ears, just like I used to have. They literally don't know what a good mix is supposed to sound like.
And he kind of goes on and on about balanced mixes.
They can't create balanced mixes.
And
still couldn't create a balanced mix.
He can give us a list of
beautiful mixes with perfect balance.
He goes on to say,
You first need to use your ears to understand what a good balance mix sounds like.
Anyone who knows my work as a writer and even as a mixer knows that I don't ascribe to balanced mixes. Balanced mixes are boring mixes, and I'm not sure how this guy got to be the arbiter of what balanced is, but I didn't see the purpose of addressing that either. He finishes with,
Once you finally know it, and you understand the frequency ranges, the sky is the limit for you.
Indeed. I could say a lot in regards to this entire tirade, but given that the big problem is he focuses on the wrong thing, I've chosen to place my focus on what really matters. Here is my response. You put way too much emphasis on what balanced is. Balanced mixes are often bad mixes, but frankly, that's irrelevant. I don't disagree that there are a lot of highly successful records with shitty mixes out there, but that just shows you that sound doesn't matter and really never has. What matters is the music. That's what sells. So here you are, after spending a lifetime to achieve good sound and an accurate room to work in, and you're miserable because you find everything sounds like shit, whether you're in your room or outside of it. When all this while, the only thing you needed to worry about was working on great music with an opportunity to be heard and loved by millions, regardless of the sound. Let this be a lesson to all who hear this. Sound doesn't matter. What matters is the music. Put your laser focus on creating music that people love. Make the money from that good decision and laugh at those who criticize your sound. I'll just say, I have a career of making great sounding records. I'm known for it. You really won't see anyone bashing the sound of my records, and if they did, that would be kind of funny. But I also happen to have a successful career of making successful records. Given the choice, if I had to choose between a body of great sounding records or a body of successful ones, I'll take the success over the sound every single time. Because if I have success, it's because I made music that moves people and causes a reaction. And that's the goal. Music fan doesn't understand sound. They only understand music. If the music isn't successful, it was because of the music. Focus on that. If you enjoyed this little production, head on over to your favorite podcast platform and check out The Daily Adventures of Mixerman. It's basically the audiobook converted to podcast format. And if you've never heard it, you probably want to. Thanks for listening. Subscribe and like. Join me at mixerman.net. Mixerman.